Hello everyone and happy update day! So we got lucky and the update came out a day earlier, which is so exciting. So we are back on Animal Crossing and we are going to go play the update. So I won't bore you with the chores today, I won't add those in, we'll just get straight into business. But yeah, I hope everyone's really excited. I know I was when I went on to Tumblr today and I seen that. I'm actually really excited. I'm also trying to get the ant and the flies before I forget because I keep procrastinating that. So right off the bat, we have some villagers. We see one of the new people there, and I just included this because Dizzy gave me a really cute compliment. Like, God loved him. He's so cute. I love Dizzy. But anyways, this is one of the new people in the update. This is Resetti. A lot of people, if you've played earlier Animal Crossing games, know that if you exit out of the game without saving, Resetti would give you a really large lecture. And I've heard a lot of people have, like, childhood trauma with him. I was a bit older when I played it, but I was really upset when I got him, and he was not someone you wanted to mess around with, but you did get like a cool thing where you can go underground and like hang out with the Resetti and get some like items from him. I know that was New Leaf anyway. I don't know if any other ones did that. But basically, Resetti's job in this one is to basically reset your island. He'll take care of like mountains and all that and make it easier. He won't take anything off. He will do flowers, and that was the only thing I was really interested in. When it came to Resetti, I think I might do it, but it's $60,000, so I don't know if it's really worth it. When I could just buy a bunch of shovels for much cheaper and do that, I don't really have that money to spend. I also quickly went over because there's new items, as you can see. There's the Lego stuff, which is really exciting. I like the Plum Blossom a lot. Other than that, I'm not really a big fan of all the Lego items. However, I'm sure there is a market out there and people who really were into them. So scrolling past the Mario stuff, those are old news. Those are from like previous updates. They're not too much. They had some stuff from Pocket Camp. So that slot machine there, I am 100% getting. The fortune cookie, I think I might actually end up getting as well. I didn't get it today, obviously. And I really did like those vintage campers. I think those will be a great addition somewhere too. But anyways, yeah, I was thinking about getting like the slot machine thing because in the upper corner of my island right now, I'm not showing you that because it's highly, 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 highly under development right now. Oh, and anyways, yeah, this is also the big new update. We have a hotel on our island. So this is Cap'n and Leilani. Cap'n was already on our island, but Leilani is his wife. She's running this hotel, and basically we have to go around and decorate the rooms for her, which is really exciting. So it is basically very similar to the expansion pack that Happy Home Designers, but it's hotel themed, so it's completely different. Obviously, this here is Layla. She is their daughter, I believe. It is daughter. She just said mom, but it's nice to see her back too. She used to sell you stuff on New Leaf, and this here is Graham's. And again, I think she sold you stuff too. I haven't played New Leaf in a while, so I'm a little bit rusty on that. But basically, we got to go up and design that. So we'll quickly talk to her. But what I was trying to say before I cut myself off, basically, in the upper corner, I'm trying to make this like little carnival thing on my island. I think that would be really cool. Just have like little different parts, but it's really under development right now. So I'm not going to show you because it looks horrible. But right off the bat, a first task is she gave us the theme of the island. So she wanted us to do kind of like a sea ocean theme. And I live in, not coastal, I guess, but I do have that like fishing impact and that sort of thing where I am from. So I was kind of like basing it basically off like hotels or like B&Bs and certain things based off of like where I grew up. And that was kind of like my theme or goal for it. So very fishy. It's not necessarily, I guess, like beach resort. And with the stuff that they gave you, I couldn't really go for beach resort. At least that's not what I was really getting from it anyway. So that was basically what I was thinking. So I was like, you know what? You're traveling to like a small town that's by the sea. And basically, what would that look like? So obviously, you're going to have lots of blues, some like yellows and stuff. Because I was going for like the recommended stuff. I don't know if you lose points. I don't know if anything happens if you don't. This is obviously a very new update. So there's lots of ways to test it and find out a lot of new things. So I'll definitely have to like figure that out myself or just see what other people say. I'm really excited. I haven't seen anyone play it yet because I just wanted to jump into it for myself. But yeah, so that was what I was going for the first one. I'm really excited to see fully like what happens with this new update. There's just not so much to it, but like a lot of new things are being added into it. And again, I'm so excited to play it. I don't know if all like, the people who stay in your hotel, if it works like the campsite. I think I've seen somewhere where it don't. So if you have an animal staying here, they don't have that option for you to invite them onto your island. Don't quote me on that. I believe that is something that you can't do. I also had a suitcase in there because obviously they're traveling. So, I mean, everyone throws their suitcase somewhere, and in the corner I was going so much for, like, you know, when you come in and, like, you have the closets, the mirrors, the desk sort of thing. I was just adding those things because, again, like, you need somewhere to get changed, and they had some bathroom items, and, like, I kind of wish you had these additional room, or if I had that partition from Happy Home Designer where you could make, like, a wall in the middle. I wish I could do that so I can kind of, like, separate it so you could have, like, a little bathroom, like, I'm trying to think of the word, but, like, a hygiene area. But I didn't include that, obviously, because I didn't have the partition. I just feel like having, like, a sink in the room, or at least this one here, kind of, like, took away from it. And I just went for, like, a white theme for the rattan stuff. I think that looks nice. I'm not a fan of the regular rattan. And while I think for, like, the hotel or, like, hotel room or B&B sort of thing that I was going for would probably have, like, that ugly brown, I was like, nah, I'm not going to, like, resort animals to that, because I know personally I don't like that. And, like, I kind of like it when they have, like, this theme again. Like, some places do have certain themes like that, or maybe, like, a dingy hotel that makes you really question if you're going to get stabbed there. There's definitely lots of those around, but I try to stick it to the as coastal as I could get. And there's some fish up on there. I was, like, going a little bit crazy with it. Why not? I do wish I had more items and stuff, but I liked how it turned out. I think it was a really great first attempt with what I was given. And again, the prompt, and I added the map because I thought that'd be fun. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to, like, a resort where it's like, put a pen where you're actually from. And that's one of my favorite things because my partner is not from here. So when we do it, it's just a lot of fun to see where everyone's from and to see if, like, other people are from, like, the same place I am or where he's from, and just see where, like, everyone comes from, really. I love when I see, like, those little world maps and you just put a pin where you're, like, where you're born or where you're, like, traveling from. I think that's a lot of fun. So I added that just for the sake of it. With that, we have our first guest staying in the hotel. I'm so excited. It's not someone I really care for. Paulo, I believe his name is, but it's still exciting. Welcome to the hotel, Paulo. I hope you enjoy your stay, even though you do not look like someone who would, I don't know. I feel like he gives me fishing vibes. Like, he just comes here and he's like, I want to see fish. I like fish. I like to go outside and be a biologist. I try to speak, but speaking does not try me, I guess. But anyways, but that's not the only thing that came into the update. So after I decorated the first room, I decided to run back outside and go test out and see what's on the go. But we quickly got some money too. I think she said something about Gulliver, and that was what I went out to see, because there was a little booth outside the hotel, and I don't think I included that. But there is that. Oh, it's Graham's Souvenir Shop. I read that so wrong earlier. I read that as Gulliver, and I was like, oh shit, Gulliver finally became useful. High offense to you, Gulliver. You kind of suck. It's Graham's shop. Okay, so we can buy stuff from Graham's now, but when I was looking at it earlier, I wasn't really, like, feeling any of the stuff she had. I don't think the little towel thing really suits the bathroom, and I don't really like the clothing. The jeans not too bad, but as you can see from this and previous videos, if you watched them, I'm more of a dress or skirt person, so she never really had anything. But anyways, Tom Nook is back, and he is just telling us how this works. So basically, it's a DIY item. DIY? I think I said that right. But a DIY place. So it's like, if you played Stardew Valley, very similar to that, actually, where you just make stuff. Like the orders, requests, you need to make certain amounts of it. And I realized I made 2. But this here is such a great feature. And if you've played, I'm sorry, I just, like, punched the mic. That's okay. But if you've ever played this game, you can only craft one thing at a time. However, if you look above, you can do different quantities. And I didn't do that because I forgot, because I'm so used to not having that privilege. But they spoiled us so much with this update. And I also did not need to. I realize that now, looking back. I don't know. I think it just means you get twice the amount of money for it. That's, I guess, what the 2 means. But I made 2 of them. And I didn't make anything else because I was like, whatever. I'll do that later when I do, like, the chores or something. So returning back to the hotel, I quickly ran up to go see Apollo, which actually opens up a new menu that we have. So we can't roam freely through the hotel. That would have been really cool to do. We do have to go, I guess, elevators or whatever, but we do also have 8 rooms to decorate, so it's not too many, but there is, like, nice men. I don't know if you get to go and delete rooms after and customize them again with different themes. I'm really excited to see what happens after that, though, and I say that like I've completed Happy Home Designer when I've just done 2 rooms. I kind of gave up after that. Although I have been wanting to play Happy Home Designer, it's just with the update I didn't want to do anything until the update came out. But I went for a modern room. I did try for 5 minutes to do the Japanese theme room. I just wasn't really vibing with the things. However, I'm really glad after I went with the modern room. So basically, if you do choose a theme that you don't like, you just talk to Leilani again and be like, hey, like, I'm stopping this. So that resets the room and you get to choose a whole new theme. And I was really glad I did that because I had an idea. So after struggling for a bit, because I didn't really like the modern wallpapers or the modern floor, because it kind of just made you look like you're in a jail or a concrete block. And I was like, no. I get that modernization often is cold, and like a lot of the archetype or designs are not really interesting or as fun as it was, but I was like, no. If you're going somewhere, we're not going to do a jail cell. Only for me to turn it into basically what a jail cell was. So, with that said, I decided for the modern room by looking at the furniture, I was like, this is really giving me like you're on a work trip kind of thing, not like a work trip. So I was like, yeah, this one here is not R&R. This is just work. So technically it's kind of very similar to a jail trip. So anyways, that was what my idea was going to into it. I was like, okay, this is going to be someone who's like traveling for work. They got to work in the hotel, and like this is basically not a relaxation place, but a quick little work thing. So that was the theme I went with. And with that, I was like, okay, so we'll add a kitchen into this, even though I don't really like the idea of having a kitchen in your hotel room. I really like the kitchenette, but I was like, you know what? You're here for work. You're not here for relaxation. You're here to, I don't know, like, study Eternia's not wildlife, everyone's wildlife, but like the fauna. Or maybe you're just like under investigation or something. So I went with the kitchens because you don't have much time to go out and explore. But we also don't have a restaurant or anything like that. And I guess technically people do that with like Happy Home Design when you get to design the villagers' houses on the island. They'll do like, that would be so cool actually. I should have really played Happy Home Designs. So I can get that. Just like turn everyone's like homes into businesses and then everyone just works from home. And then we can have like little things and have like little businesses. I see people do that and it's actually a really fun concept. But technically once I get my like stuff together and like finally like sit down, lock in, and actually create that little carnival area. Because I have like a little floral, I could do like a little floral outside coffee shop. And I don't know why now all the ideas are coming to me, but they are. But I also added some coffee and I also added a French press. Well, I guess that's not technically a French press. It's an espresso pot, but I live on French presses. They're so good. They like help so much and it's just great for lazy people. But yeah, I was like, if you're here for coffee, like we also don't have a coffee shop, so you probably want all the coffee you can get. And I added a toaster. I thought that was a really cute toaster and I was not letting go of that toaster at all. Like she was locked in, so. But yeah, it just reminds me of like I know some dorm rooms technically have like, when I was like living on a campus, I did have a kitchenette included for a small bit because I was just like in an in-between transition room for a little bit, so I kind of just stayed there for a couple weeks. And it was actually really fun to have like that, but it's just, you don't really want a kitchen where you're sleeping. And I kind of feel grossed out by that idea. And I'm like, this is a video game. Like, who cares? Again, I am putting too much logic into it, but I kept it in there because I just feel like it worked out for a little work trip. But I'm really, really excited to see who might come into it. And I also moved the bed over there. I just feel like, weirdly enough, it kind of fit over there. And I just thought it was perfect for, like, again, like, someone who's on the road, who got to work and lock in. Maybe they're running their business. Like, who knows? Like, the endless possibilities are there, right? So I also, again, I added, like, a suitcase because I just felt like that just added some, like, personal touches. And I had some slippers. You know, we have continental slippers here. And I tried to see if you can put anything on top of the bed just for the fun of it, but you couldn't. And I added a knife block, but quickly decided not to. And I added some jams for the toast. And just some papers again to make it just seem like someone who is here again on work in case you haven't caught what I was planning to do with it. But I really do like this, and I think it's a really fun idea because, again, with the Happy Home Designs, you're really limited and you're making vacation homes for villagers who have ideas. So I feel like with this, you kind of have some more initiative and just some more ideas to go around it, express your creativity. And I know another part of it is you can do dream islands. I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. I might do that in the future, but I wouldn't count on it. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great, great day. Bye.